Hello, hello, hello. What's going on, everybody? Welcome now. Stock Trades. How's everybody doing today? Hello, hello, hello. All right, ladies and gentlemen. In this video, we're going to go ahead and talk about what's going on this week in the market. We got some really bullish news. We're going to just kind of briefly go over what we talked about over the weekend. If you have not watched our videos in the past 3-4 days, you are missing out. There's a lot of details in there, and there's a lot of knowledge. We've recorded over 20 hours of videos in the past week. So this is not just freely talking. This is important information. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So where are we right now? Let's go ahead and, what's going on here? Yes, yes, yes. Wow, what a life and background. Al is my hero. I love you, Clove, to retirement. What's going on? Right? Dr. Patel. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to win. I'm telling you right now, we are going to win. All right? So we got a nice... as you can see right now, I'm at my golf course, right? Pretty much here, and our beautiful security guard, and we're enjoying the view. Look at this. Look at this. Right? Have the camera follow me, please. Right? Continue following me. Excellent, excellent. Look at that. Beautiful view. We're living the American dream. So bring it up here. Bring it up. Cheers. We're having a nice, beautiful beer from the keg. I don't normally drink, but today we're gonna. It's a special day, right? Let me show you a little bit around here. Here's the setup. Here's how it looks like. It's looking pretty good. Beautiful view. There's Michelle. Michelle, where's the coffee? Right? That's my beautiful Michelle. Right? Right? Beautiful Michelle. We got beautiful summer ale going on here. Seasonal, right? Cheers, right? Lots of millionaires are going to be made, ladies and gentlemen. Again, if you have not looked at these videos, you are missing out. I recommend watching these videos, and there's also the 4-hour video, which watch them all. Okay, Michelle, turn down the AC. Get me a beer. All right, all right. So I'm telling you right now, we're going to go to the moon, okay? I'm telling you, we are going to go to the moon, all right? Let me tell you, like zoom into my face. Come here. Get closer. Get closer. Get closer. We are going to go to the moon. You understand that? Do you get that? Do you get that? Back off. Back off. Back off. Come on now. Back off. Back off. All right. All right. It's about time. It's about time. Right? What's going on, right? Right? We're getting sophisticated now. Right? We're getting sophisticated. Okay? Right? So hopefully that made you laugh a little bit, right? All right. So let's get to work. All right. So, first off, shout out to America, right? My story would never be a part of this larger American story. I'll tell you something right now, right? If I was in any country, just like what Obama said in his speech in the Democratic National Convention, if I was in any other country, my story would not happen. This is what happens when you work hard, ladies and gentlemen, right? You get shit done. You get shit done. Okay. So let's go ahead and just bring it to the top here, and let's get to it here. All right. So given now that, let's go in order, right? So watch these videos if you haven't done so. And, the title of this video pretty much is Big Money Always Wins, right? Big money always wins. All right. Let me go ahead and make sure hopefully the mic is good, right? But big money always wins, ladies and gentlemen. And it's unfortunate, right? Here's Bill Ackman, right? Just looking like a gangster, right? Just look at this guy. Just look how he's seated. He knows he's the shit. Okay. Just look at him, right? Here's this guy, right? These people are all, this is Wall Street, right? And I'm trying to teach you how these people play. All right. So what's going on? What's going on with the S&P? We got the S&P up 1.34%. We got the Dow up 1.05%. We got the NASDAQ up 1.79%. And we got the Russell up 1.83%. Ladies and gentlemen, that's incredibly bullish. So what does that even mean? Why do we care? right? Why do we care that this is up? Okay, well, first things first, what happened, right? So let's to answer that, let's go ahead and we got to go a little deeper here. So we see everything green, but which one is the most green, right? It's the Russell. Why is the Russell the most green out of the S&P? What does that mean to you, right? Right? So if you haven't heard, there is a deal that can potentially be signed with Besant in the United States with China, right? And ultimately, the tariffs are going to go down. And if the tariffs go down, what ends up happening to the inflation from the accordance of the Fed? What ends up happening? Right? Inflation theoretically should go down because prices are going to go lower, right? So what is the Fed's going to do, right? The Fed is essentially going to go ahead and very simply start cutting rates. And when the Fed cuts rates, what happens to the Russell? The Russell goes up. Now, is the Russell going to go up after the rate cut? Maybe, but if you have been following the market long enough, it's usually a prognostic indicator, right? It's usually prognostic, right? And I think it's going to go up beforehand, right? And then maybe potentially we may make new all-time highs. All right. So I just wanted to kind of give you, because people look at this and like, oh, we're up in the green, but it tells you a story, right? There's a lot of money coming back into tech, the NASDAQ. Yes, we got some recovery, but the S&P has seen a recovery from a 50% retracement. But we also got the Russell leading the way, out even beating the NASDAQ. And we got gold dropping. So what does that all mean to you? Again, I'm trying to help you take multiple pieces of data and put that together. Right? Why is gold going down? So we'll talk about that, right? Shout out to my friend here, Sean. I appreciate you. He just made a testimonial video. You could go ahead and check it out in the video section of Al Stock Trade. Shout out to you, brother. I appreciate the review. Very extensive review. Pretty much talked about, it's the most recent review, talked about everything that we created. So thank you, brother. I appreciate your help. We're going to go ahead and stick it to the terminal here, okay? We'll go ahead and do that. But so let's just go ahead and look at this here. So Besant says 2 days of talks with China yielded substantial progress, promising additional details Monday, right? So let me go to Research Edge and let me pull you something that is kind of weird, and if you ask me, okay? Let's see here. So yesterday, I went ahead and I sent a message at 9:56 in the morning, right? And I said the poly market is suggesting that the U.S.-China trade deal is going to happen before June. And it literally spiked up. Who knew that? You see how nasty the world is? You see how that information, it's nasty, right? Who knew this? Who knew? Let me show you. You see how it spiked up? Look at that. U.S.-China trade deal before June. You see how unfair the world is? How literally yesterday it spiked up on Friday, given an inclination that the market, it really, I like the poly market now because it shows you how insider information really goes out and how sometimes these leaders can leak this information to their family, and then Chinese leaders leak it to their family, and then some other party leaks it, and then soon you have a betting, and then it shoots back up, right? So let's see here, Al. Whenever I feel the need for perspective when CLOV is down, I turn this channel, and I'm reminded that stock fundamentals and a sound market mindset are critical. Absolutely, right? And let me say, let me add to that, right? So I know that we've been disproportionately making a lot of videos regarding Clover. I think it's one of the most undervalued stocks that I could find, right? But I've called out other stocks, right? Palantir at $6.40. So many other crazy bangers that we've had. HIMS, ExxonMobil, Energy Trans. I mean, so many stocks out there, not coming to my mind, but so many. And what I did is I decided to say, you know what? Let me focus on this stock and let me utilize the data that I created to show you exactly how to win on Wall Street and to show you exactly how important this data is. Now, unfortunately, this data is expensive, right? Because trust me, if it was cheap and free, I would be able to, democratize it even more, right? As you know, someone who's from medicine was willing to do, that's my passion. But unfortunately, this is very expensive. Okay. So with that, I didn't know that I was going to create this, but it's just kind of how Clover breaks down the silos between the family doctor and the cardiologist. I wanted to break the silos down between retail investors and the data. And to do that, we have an open network, right? An open provider network, right? No. So, and essentially what we have is we have so many people come together and do all this research in our platform, and they share their findings, and they're together as a family, right? Guys, I've been at the bottom and I've seen, I don't want to say I've seen it all, because I've known brothers and sisters that are in worse situations, right? But I will tell you something. I've seen a lot, right? And now I'm in a position where I know billionaires, right? I have billionaires on my contact list, which is insane. I know multimillionaires, right? I mean, here I am with our beautiful security guard. Here I am sitting in a beautiful golf course by myself, right? Right? Because we own this shit, right? I mean, look at this, right? Look at this beauty, right? That's the freedom I want to give you, right? That's the freedom I want to show you. And I believe anybody can get to this level. I'm going to be quite honest. It took me about 14 years to 15 years to get here, right? But I will tell you something, though. I think, and I've already seen people make $300,000-$400,000 as they join our platform. I think that my platform can shrink down the learning curve from 14 years, 15 years to about a week to 2 weeks to sit, less than that. I mean, we had his name is Turd. He came in and he immediately started doing intrinsic value calculations. It's just, you know what I mean? I mean, that's the power of our platform, right? So I'm very proud of what we built. I really am, right? And I want to be able to showcase that, yes, there is a way out, and yes, you can have all of this. Yes, you can. All right. So now that we know that there's going to be some type of deal, right? Let's kind of read a little bit about it, right? We can kind of talk about this. This will be a good video, I would say, a good summary. Let's oh yes, $4 this week. You're calling it that 70s dog. Oh, John, I didn't see your comment. Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm sure. I mean, I can't prove it, right? I can't prove it, but let's put it this way. You and I won't be surprised. These people operate out of their wallets, right? They operate out of greed. They don't operate in the servitude of the American people, right? All right. So let's go ahead here and we broke the 200-day in the dollar sign SPY overnight trading. We must fly. So yeah, we broke the 200-day in the S&P overnight trading, and we were about to fly. Now, let's go ahead and actually bring this up And let's open up I'm curious about to see United Healthcare, see how it does. I'm sure it's going to have a relief rally, some type of dead cat bounce. But, you go on the daily here and you can see this is where we're fighting here, right? And this is obviously the shortcut version. Let's do the real one. So as you can see, my prediction is that we're going to hit some form of resistance and we're going to fall. I do believe we're going to get some form of retracement, but it could have been baked in. But this was my prediction. And I do believe we're going to get to an all-time new high, potentially, either by June to August, but it may actually happen sooner. Based off of what I'm seeing here, I do believe we're going to get to a resistance level at 5,800. If you guys can verify that, we're going to see how it plays out, right? Let's go ahead and hit this here.
And we talk about what will happen when CLOV hits mid-cap and how will this make institutional investors look at it. Also, would breaking out over $5 be a bigger deal than becoming mid-cap?
Yeah, well, here's the thing. First off, and I hate to basically say this because I don't believe Clover is a penny stock, but it's under $5. So for the most people's definition of a penny stock is essentially for most people, they think a penny stock is under, $5, right? But, that's not the case because how can a penny stock be $1.69 billion? If you go ahead and ask ChatGPT a simple question, it's going to say, no, I don't believe it. No, right? I don't, right? It's going to say it's wrong, right? But regardless, there are a lot of uneducated people out there. It is what it is. And, they're going to, they're going to say, once the Clover does hit above $5, they're going to say business turnaround, right? There's a huge business turnaround. And ultimately, it's going to get to a point where, it's going to slowly start going up, right? And then we're going to start trading kind of at the SoFi levels in terms of price from like 5 to 11. We'll probably make that dance, but I think we're going to be a lot better given that we're profitable, right? And we're going to be free cash flow. Our operational cash flow is quite significant. And we talked about that on those videos before. So if you haven't seen those videos, you're missing out, right? You're missing out. So I think that once we go above that, there's so many tailwinds we have, guys, that not a lot of people are going to put this together until it happens, right? We have the $5 break, which I think we're going to break, right? Based off of my calculations, right? And the due diligence that I shared with you, that in the most important 3 to 4 videos ago, like the past 3 videos, they've been building off of each other, right? Today is going to be kind of a, just kind of a massage of what we talked about and overall what to expect in the market, because this China thing is really good. Trump, in Trump's defense, Trump did say that, to buy stocks. He did say, buy stocks right now. Holy shit, right? He was right. Buy some stocks, right? Right? Michelle, buy some stocks, right? No, it really is crazy, right? And I think that once we go over the $5, we're going to start to get included into the Russell 3000, and then we'll get into the Russell 2000, and then we'll go from the mid caps. And then once this sucker explodes, then we're going to get into a position where we, hopefully in the next 5 years, we could be included in the S&P 500. You understand what that means? Like, these are the levels of progression, guys. And then once this happens, that's it, guys, right? We're going to be coming here. We're going to have a beautiful summit. Enjoy the beautiful view here, right? Come here. Follow me. Come on. Right. We're going to enjoy this beautiful view here. Look at that. Right. So essentially, we're going to have a summit here, and we're also going to have it in the Oregon hotel. Cause we own a golf course at the Oregon hotel as well. And we're going to have it. Hopefully, my dream is to become a member at Mar-a-Lago, right? So I'm trying to send in my application to become a member there in Trump's golf course, right? So I need to learn golf as well. So Acorns is going to teach Sean, right? Acorns is going to teach us, but I don't know how to play for shit, right? So we're going to have I'm telling you guys, life We worked hard. I mean, listen, right? Listen, right? Zoom in. We worked hard. Okay. We worked hard. What do you expect? All right. What do you expect? I was working hard in the hospital and the stock was tanking. I was working extra side gigs, extra jobs, teaching. I was doing a whole bunch of things. Rent my properties, making sure they make money on the rent cycle, making sure I just whatever I can do, right? This is what happens. You work hard. You bought the dip. Other people were scared. You know how impressive this is? Zoom out. Get back. All right. So the point here, ladies and gentlemen, right, is that we're going to get into a position where, holy shit, I mean, it is insane. We're going to get into a position where, like, this is like winning the lottery, right? But it's better because you know how to, most people that win the lottery, they lose their money, right? But like, you know how to make the money, right? And you know how, and once we activate the wheel strategy, the only person we're going to answer to is the man upstairs. That's it, right? Right? Move up. Who are we going to answer to? Move up. Who are we going to answer to? Move up. Right? We're going to answer to the man upstairs. We're going to answer to. Keep moving. We're going to answer. That's the only person we're going to answer to. Right? To the man upstairs. That's it. Come back to me. All right? Come down. Come on. All right. So that's the only God, only God. That's the only person we have to answer to. No more bosses, no more bullshit. You're the boss. Okay? All right. So let's go ahead and this is some real shit, right? This is not some watered down garbage, right? We're learning how the billionaires do their job. I mean, this is how they do it. So let me remove this and let me stop the sharing of the screen and let me share the audio version. Let me see. Let me put on my bone conduction. Well, I mean, here's the thing, John. You're going to be able to. Warren Buffett said it. A lot of people in his, he has billionaire friends, $50 million people that are worth $50 million. They still show up and go to work. I'm still going to work, right? I love medicine, right? You have to essentially, you got to do what you have to be happy. Most people are not happy. You know what I mean? All right. So let's listen. Let's go ahead and listen to this here.
U.S. and China. Here's where things stand between the U.S. and China amid the ongoing trade war. The U.S. has a 145% effective tariff rate on all goods from China. China has a 125% rate on all U.S. goods, though it's reportedly made some exceptions for certain goods. So how did we get here? One of Trump's key promises on the 2024 campaign trail was imposing 60% tariffs on all Chinese imports to the U.S. He took early action in February, adding a 10% tariff on Chinese goods, which he raised to 20% in March. Then, as part of his April 2nd Liberation Day push, Trump announced another big hike, bringing the cumulative rate to 54%. China responded with a 34% tariff on all U.S. goods. In the following days, both sides continued to ratchet up rates. On April 9th, 1 week later, Trump paused tariffs on several other trading partners for 90 days, but boosted China's rate to 145%. China hit back with 125% tax on U.S. goods. But the president and members of his administration have hinted that China tariffs could come down significantly after this weekend's talks. President Trump on Friday posted on Truth Social that an 80% tariff on China seems right. The Trump administration is waiting tariff cuts, with talks set to take place between the two nations this weekend. Bloomberg reporting members of the administration are targeting a 60% tariff rate, while President Trump said 80% seems right. The president adding that the final rate would be up to Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent. Bessent, joined by U.S. Trade Representative Jamieson Greer, will participate in talks with Chinese officials on Saturday.
All right. So pretty much I just kind of gave the rundown about the timeline of how things happened, but that's pretty much what I look for, guys. And, let me show you, so you remember how, you know what, before I show you, hold on. Just so you guys can see. All right. By the way, that live, I went pretty crazy, guys. I went pretty crazy on the live yesterday. I really went like kind of almost like a, Indian Middle Eastern type education, and that's how it works. I mean, if you want to learn something, it takes time. So I'm happy that, if you guys enjoyed it. I got a lot of compliments. So I appreciate you guys. Hopefully later we'll have the whiteboard and we'll be able, we have this beautiful camera, we'll be able to go ahead and write on the board and walk around and really have detailed levels in the lifetime access, right? And then you have the data that you have access to, and it's going to be it's going to be the best education you can possibly get, better than any institution. I will literally cream Harvard. I will cream them so bad. I will cream the shit out of Harvard. Harvard has nothing on my business acumen. I will cream the crap out of them, right? No one is harder worker than me. I will cream any content. They don't even have a hedge fund level class. I will destroy Harvard's class, right? Number one. And number two, I will destroy any data service provider that's out there, right? Because the point is I'm trying to democratize how to take you from zero to hero. Okay? Right? So now what I want to do is look at this, guys. Look at this, right? See if we can, obviously there's nothing to look at, right? So you know why? Because I need to load up the damn screen. So now that you guys see the damn thing, so the blue is smart money. Thanks to Sentiment Trader here for the data. Smart money is blue and dumb money is red. Now, as stocks went down, let's zoom in. As stocks went down, right? Stocks fell. What happens? What happened? Smart money started buying. What did dumb money do? Again, dumb money is in red. Dumb money is in red. What did they do? We've been talking about this, right? What did they do? Right? What did dumb money do? Dumb money sells. That's what they did. And what did smart money do? They bought the freaking dip. That's what they did. They bought the dip. They bought the freaking dip, guys. That's what they did, right? And there are idiots out there going ahead and saying, oh, I'm scared, I'm scared, I'm scared. Listen, if you want to get at the level of the rich, you got to act like the freaking rich. This is what they do. When there's blood on the street, they buy, right? When the VIX is over 50, they buy. That's what they do. That's what they do. In the beginning, what they did, they sold a lot, right? So you can see the outflow data. So everyone was like, holy shit, they're selling, they're selling. And then that outflow data caused retail investors to start selling. And some idiots sold their freaking 401ks like retards. They sold their 401ks. They worked 30 freaking years for that goddamn 401k. And then what? They go ahead and sell it. They sell it. You know who buys it? People like us. We buy it. And we don't care because we'll leave you on the side of the road. That's what Wall Street does. They don't give a shit about you, right? So then now, what do you think happened? I showed you this picture, but I cut it out. Let me show you the real picture. Look at dumb money now. Look at dumb money now. Look at that. Smart money now, as stocks are rising, smart money's cooling off. What is dumb money doing? What is dumb money doing? They're buying. You should have bought a long time ago. You should have bought when Clover was hitting at $3. You should have bought when, Hims was at $26, $25. Not at 50. You got to play the game. And I'm going to teach you how to play the game. Everything I do is data-driven. Everything I do. Every little detail is data-driven. It has to be. It has to be. Because the game is rigged. One emotional step, one miscalculative step, and you're effed. You can't be emotional in this game. You can't. You have to be smart. You are the captain of your portfolio. Okay? Well, there it is. You should have bought some at 60 cents. I made a bunch of videos. I told everybody. I said 60 freaking cents. That's a nice sky you got going on back there. Wait, let me see. Holy shit. God damn. Whoa. Hey, let's see here. Follow me. There's a nice one right there. Look at that. Wow. Look at that view, guys. Look at that view. Look at that. This is the life I want you to live. This is the life I want you to live. You see this life? You see this life? This is the life I want you to live, right? Individuals that have lifetime access, we're going to have summits here, right? You get access to individuals that have an average net worth of over $45 million, and that's a 30% response rate. This is why in the future, lifetime access will be $15,000, $20,000. Look at this, right? We have a coupon code SAS, SAAS, lifetime access, $1,200. Take advantage. Join the movement of value investors that have access to hedge fund institutionally graded data. Right? You like it, huh? Look at that. Look at that. It's beautiful. This is the life. This is how you live. But the thing is, you got to make money. But you think Wall Street's going to allow you to make it easy? No, they're going to drop it. Let me show you something. Right? I had people bitching about stocks going down. Let me tell you something, right? This again, I'm not even showing you the $15 million portfolio. Oh my God. If you see the $15 million portfolio, you're going to be like, holy fucking shit, that dropped, right? But look at this. Look at this. Look at this. We were at 1.42 million. And then we dropped all the way down to 1 million. We dropped $400,000 on April 7th. 400,000, right? And you know what I did? You know what I did? I bought more. I bought more. You understand? I bought more. That's what I did. And now, look at where we're at now. Now we're up we're up from the 1 million, we're up 175,000. We're up 175,000. And guess what? I bought the dip. I bought the freaking dip. That'll catch people's attention, right? I'm trying to be able to help, how can I help people pay attention? Right? I'm trying. All right. So, that's it. Just look at this. Holy shit. Look at that. Oh my God. All right. So now that we went ahead and did this, what I'm going to do is let's go ahead and open up the Al Stock Trades platform here. Okay. It was a sale. And you know what? People, just people don't learn. They don't learn. Eagles flying PN the screen behind Al, just like Clover fly. No, and you know what's funny? Watch here. Come here. You see those flags right there? You see those flags? God bless the United States of America. You see those flags? God bless the USA. USA, right? God bless the United States, right? The fact that I'm able to create and democratize this data without having someone knock on my door and say, Why are you doing this? Right? Who knows? Right? But it's okay. Come at my door, right? Because guess what? I have something called the Second Amendment, right? And I'm in Arizona, baby, right? So come knocking on my door, right? So God bless this country, right? God bless. We have freedom. Okay, we have, exactly. Cheers, cheers, cheers. We're gonna enjoy life so much. The beautiful part about this is, one lifetime access member is gonna buy a yacht, right? I'm not really into yachts because I get seasick, but I'll take some meds, scopolamine and patches and whatnot. But I'm gonna get a condo on the beach and I'm gonna invite my lifetime members, right? Oh, I'm rested, baby. I'm rested. I'm enjoying nice beer. I'm enjoying my life. This is this is where I want you to be at, right? This is it. Okay? Every person should feel the way I'm feeling right now, right? The thing is, it requires a lot of due diligence, and you just, yes, you can get the data, but you need the people, and we have both. We have the people that are hungry, the people that are willing to help other people. So if you don't know much, our people will help you, because everyone wants everyone to succeed. That's our culture, and if you don't fit that culture, you're not gonna like it, right? You're not gonna like it, right? But that's the beautiful part. The people that make the purchase, they understand what quality is, right? Our platform, yeah, it's expensive, right? It is, right? It is expensive. But look at all the lifetime members, right? I invest hundreds of thousands of hours into our members, right? Because ultimately it is an ultimate investment in the platform, because once they're up the ranks, like for example, Rabdo, Dish, then ultimately they'll be able to spread all that information amongst other people. Let's see here. Yeah, just don't take any Jimson weed. It has atropine in it. Ooh, let me remember. So atropine is a muscarinic antagonist. So essentially it goes ahead and blocks the parasympathetic nervous system on the heart, which then causes an increase in heart rate. Right? Did I get that right? The all-seeing guy. You're a doctor, right? Did I get that right? You know who likes to use atropine? Anesthesiology. Man, they love that. They love that shit, man. They really love atropine, right? They love that stuff. The only time I've used atropine, atropine is when I was answering a multiple choice question, right? For USMLE, step 1 or something, Okay. All right. So, all right. So what do we need to do here? What do we need to do? Oh, yes. Okay. So here's the, yes, it's the course, but here's the software. The software is integrated in the course. It goes hand in hand, right? And here's the integration site that'll import you to the Discord, right? And here's all the software. So let's open up market sentiment intelligence. So let's go ahead and do that, right? And let's go ahead and make that full screen. Now, guys, listen, if we go ahead and open up Palantir, okay? All right. So tell me right now, tell me, which quarter did Palantir go from dumb money to smart money bullishness? Which quarter? I know it's hard to see, Q2 2023, when the stock was trading anywhere between the ranges of, I would say, $9 to $15, around that range, right? Because it takes the whole quarter range, right? And then how many quarters? Good job, excellent. How many quarters? How many quarters did it? Oh, by the way, all the chat. I'm gonna get back to the chat, guys. Once I want to. How many quarters did it take for it to go to the moon? How many quarters? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 quarters. 6 to 7. 5 to 6. Right? I just count 1. Oh, did I mess up? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, 7. Right? I mean, I only had 1 beer, guys. I mean, I'm still good, right? I'm still good, right? So let me see here. So now let's go ahead and go to CLOV. Tell me, When did smart money became bullish? And you have to run the analysis. Again, this is the power of our platform, ladies and gentlemen. What quarter? Q3 2024. How many quarters are we in? 2 quarters. We got 5 more quarters left. 5 more quarters left, ladies and gentlemen. 5 more quarters left. So what is that going to look like to us? Well, so let's see. Let's just break it up like a normal math problem. We're at Q1 2025. We got about 5 quarters left. So Q2, Q3, Q4, Q1, Q2. So Q2 2026, obviously, there should be some proof of concept as we go up there, right? Right? There should be some form of proof of concept, right? But Q2 2026, ladies and gentlemen, is around right now, right? No, we had Q1. August, around August-ish, 2026. August 2026. We are going to, oh my God, we're going to rip through this space-time continuum. Can you imagine? We're gonna rip so high. Holy shit. Holy shit. Right? Just imagine. Right? So I'm very excited, right? So wow. I can just only imagine what it's gonna be. And that makes sense because that's the 5%, 5-star, the star increase to 4 stars. And then we get the 9% effective rate. Who knows? We may even get another increase in the effective rate, because all these other insurance programs suck, right? So big thing that I want to talk about, okay, so people that have not watched the other videos, you're not going to understand this, so you need to watch the other videos. So, by the way, if you haven't done so, please subscribe to our channel. It does help with the YouTube algorithm, and it keeps you up to date when I figure anything out, right? I do IB 48, or sorry, 58. I see 58. Yeah. So, you know how they had unpaid claims, and the unpaid claims were actually next to whatchamacallit. The unpaid claims were like let me see here. Right. So you know how the unpaid claims, guys, was around -5 million, and you know how the unpaid claims were not as big as the other ones in last year's. So here's my speculation on that. So if you're a doctor and the insurance company does not pay you as fast, doctors hate that. Doctors really hate that. Yeah, it was negative, right? Right, B-Rat. It was negative, exactly. Right? So what does that mean? We talked about it. It means that they're paying back those people more, right? They're paying back the doctors faster, right? And because they're paying back the doctors faster, I personally think that this is going to help with star ratings. You understand what I'm saying, guys? I think that Clover's trying to shoot for 4.5 stars. And if we get 4.5 stars, that's another 5%. I think that's what they're doing now. They're firing on all cylinders, guys. I mean, they have so many employees that, they were supposed to manage all those ACO members that now they're just literally managing all these, what was 80,000, now it's about 100,000 lives. I think that they're going to manage them so well that they're going to get another star. I think in the next 2 years, they're going to get a star upgrade. And if they get 4.5 stars, and who knows if they can get higher, holy shit. Can you guys hear me? Let me see here. Let me see. Is the video good? It's good, right? It is good, right? Video looks good, right? I'm checking it on here. All right, we're good. We're good. You scared me. Nickel's dropping. You're sure a deal has been struck? Well, no. I don't think a deal has been struck yet, but the talks are very close, and I think that they have something, a form of act, a form of action. I think, right? So it was frozen, but good now. Excellent. But we're getting closer. So let me show you kind of the due diligence now. Let me get here. If I can zoom in. So, markets are signaling a risk on tone with Monday's session following over 1% gains in futures. This is driven by optimistic headlines. Obviously, it's just like what Dish was saying, it's a headline driven market. US-China trade deal, Putin, Zelensky agreement, and, potential ceasefire between India, right? From that video, and Pakistan. Here's the thing, USD, JPY, Japanese, is rising, which signals to me it's risk on. These are like little things that I look at that shows that risks on is happening. You got US Treasury selling off, lower demand for safe havens. Gold is easing, which goes back to what I was saying here, right? Gold is starting to ease. It's down 2%. These are all things I'm looking at, and they all tell a picture. Crude oil is climbing, reflecting increased economic optimism. So the futures have rallied nearly 20% from April 7th. And that's what I was saying, how I went from the public account, I went from 1.4 million to $1 million. I lost $400,000 on the public account, but I didn't sell, so it's not a loss, right? But I was at the other day with Best Buy, and I was talking to this lady. Oh my God. And the lady was saying, the lady, oh my God, the lady was saying, oh, they're going to drop the stock market and it's never going to recover. It's going to take 10 years for it to recover. And I'm looking at the lady like she's insane. Like I'm looking at her like, are you stupid? The problem is I tried to say, well, in my opinion. She's like, well, what do you know? And I looked at her and I was like, you have no idea. I'm like, girl, you have no freaking clue what the hell I know. I'm like, Jesus Christ. If only you knew what I knew, right? Your brain would explode. So it's okay, right? So we're approaching we went from 48.35 and now we're approaching a 57.50 to 5800 resistance zone, right? And this is a big technical level that we're looking at right now, and I think it's going to get rejected, and I think that's going to be kind of the downward wedge I expect, but I could be wrong, right? We could break out, but I think that we should have some form of consolidation. And some headlines saying, "Oh, the stock market's coming down. What does it see?" And it's just, sees through the bullshit headlines. And then I think in June and July, and we're going to have a pre-anticipatory run in conclusion to the potential rate cut post July. I would say depends what the poly market's seeing. So I kind of think that's what's happening, guys. That's kind of my prediction. Let me see here. So, that's my prediction, I would say. But yeah, let's see. Where are we at now? So if we go ahead and look at algo flow, and this is something that's included in our lifetime access. If you go to algo flow, and we could just kind of make it simple here. We look at the 5-day here. We can still see that algo flow is going down. Let me see here. Let me think. Yeah, it's too so we're going down. So we could tomorrow, and the market is closed, but we could tomorrow potentially go down. But let me look at the S&P. Interesting. So the algo flow for the S&P has been down. So we're having a divergence, but then it obviously is correcting. But the question now is, we should monitor the algo flow for the S&P here because it is prognostic. I'm actually curious to see. I don't think we have it, but oh, good, we do. Yeah. So we have the algo flow for this, Russell 2000. This is small caps, and it, as you can see, the price of the stocks was down and then it went up, and then we're getting a reversal here. So potentially we could be going up. I mean, to be respectful, let's just, instead of looking at the maximum days, let's do 2 days. Yeah, so we've decreased, but now we're slowly starting to trend back up. I would say we're going to monitor. Obviously, it's very clear right now that Russell S&P, they're all increasing, and I think that once the S&P breaks, let me go ahead here. Once the S&P breaks the 200-day moving average, I think we're going to get to a position, ladies and gentlemen, where we're pretty much back in that bull market. And remember, we had 2 consecutive years, 20%. The first month was positive. So I still think we're going to end the year positive 10 to 20%. I know that sounds crazy. I mean, it definitely sounded crazy before, but this WEG, breath indicator, thrust indicator was positive, and the last time it happened was less than 20 times in the past 20 years, and all the time 12 months out we're positive. So again, but you go talk to a retail investor, or you talk to someone in their 401k and you talk about the breath thrust indicator, they're gonna say, who? Right? They're not, they don't get it, man. It just sucks. They don't get it, right? It's it's not the system is not for them. So here's a summary I wanted to kind of put out. So on our live the other day, we talked about how the net income is slowly going down. We had B-Rob, yes. So I'm at the golf course. So this is the golf course that we own. It's a beautiful, beautiful, elegant golf course. It was a wonderful acquisition, and I think that in the next 15, 20 years, this golf course will be worth anywhere between $40 to $55 million. It is very beautiful. If I can show you around here, you should look at the view. You should, you missed the sunset, so it's in there. So the sunsets, you can look at it in the beginning of the video, but yeah, so it's really nice. Really nice course, and it's a Troon course, so it's very nice. I don't play golf. I don't know shit about golf, so just disclaimer. But it's nice. All right, so we made a live, right, and we talked about how net income dropped from Q1 2024 negative 19.1 million down to negative 1.2 million, right? And because it dropped, that is going to hit the cash flow statement less, and it's ultimately going to help with free cash flow. Granted, we also talked about how they bought 18.297 million in shares, right? But they also bought 13.65 million in treasury stock. Now, obviously, these treasury stocks are printed by the company, and some of them are vested for taxes. But instead of buying them, essentially instead of selling them to pay off the taxes, they actually kept the stock, and they essentially used cash instead. They used cash instead. And the video that my recommendation is, I do recommend you watch this video here. Watch these videos, because for folks that don't know what I'm talking about, you got to watch these videos, especially this one, profitability for the first time. You got to watch this. I mean, I don't like to repeat things from video. I know they're like what could he possibly talk about? But we do a lot of due diligence. I mean, this is a lot of due diligence, guys. So we talked about this, right? And then how it's going to ultimately hit the cash flow statement less. And then we went ahead and then we talked about how, okay, well, 2024, they had $19.1 million in unpaid claims. That's going to go away. That's going to become zero, and approximately zero. And they're going to have about 47.6 million of discontinued operations gone. And so then we calculated kind of a bear and bull case of operational cash flow for this year, and it was anywhere between 42.12 million to 106.54 million. But then we went ahead and did another calculation, and we found that EPS might actually be positive. This year. You heard that right? EPS might be positive. And we did the calculation, and that just blew me out of the water. I met with our lifetime members the night before. After the live, we met internally on the Discord, and we opened up the cameras, and we're like, let's talk about this. Let's share the screen. Let's talk. So then we talked about it, and then after that, I stayed up all night. I stayed up all night. I stayed up all night doing more due diligence, and I found out something interesting, guys. I found out that EPS might actually be positive this year, and we might even get our triple dragon this year. And the market has no idea. There's a lot of people out there that have so many followers on Twitter and everything. And, I would argue, they probably started trading in the stock market in 2020. I've been doing this, for about 3 years. So let's just lower it. Let's say 14 years. I've been doing this since around 2011. Honestly, 2010, but we'll call it 2011. 2010 was not that. I mean, I didn't invest anything, right? In 2010. 2010, I was just learning, but I wasn't. There's no experience. I wasn't in the market, right? So, but I will tell you, 2011, I was in there, and it was a great time. And we had about 3-4 years of stagnation in terms of stock equity, stock growth, not like stagnation, like inflation type of ordeal, but in terms of no growth, but stocks really didn't do much. But it was a great time to invest. Remember, when Tesla was pretty much still for like 10 years, right? 10, 11 years. But so we ended up finding it was profitable, and then we did the calculation, and we're thinking that potentially Clover could be profitable anywhere between 45 to 50 million dollars, right? 45 to 50 million. And it's insane. 45 to 50 mil, guys. That's crazy shit, right? And then, that's an EPS of this year of around 10 pennies. That's pretty damn good, I would say. And if that's the case, then we're going to get our triple dragon. And so many of these people are going to start talking about Clover, right? Let's see here. Like you showed us that energy transfer video that you did way before you came online. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, yeah. So what I did is, okay, so as you guys know, I'm an educator. If you Google my name, Albert Allen, it doesn't show up anymore, which maybe is potentially a good thing. But if you type in Albert Allen homeless, you'll basically see an article about me, and you'll see it shows that I taught over thousands of students, and I did. I taught thousands of students, thousands. And I guess now, if you include YouTube and if you include this, I'm not even including that. I mean, holy shit. Well, who knows now? Jesus, how much I've taught, and it feels good. But what I used to do is my stock picks were insane. My stock picks when I used to do biotech, right? I leveraged my information in the biomedical sciences, sciences, and we were playing biotech, and I used to track the FDA approvals when they're going to happen, and those stocks used to shoot up like 10x. We used to always find 10 baggers every other week, and it was insane. It was pretty fun. But I was more, honestly, I knew about Benjamin Graham. I started it and doing all that, but I was also doing technical analysis. I was like I had an average win ratio of around 70 to 75% in technical analysis. And, I always made sure I had a stop loss on those biotech stocks, and we were just making a shit ton of money. And what I did is I started doing long-term investing, and a lot of my long-term picks started going crazy. So a lot of people started saying, Al, can you please help me with this and this? Like, what's your next stock pick? And so I had all these business folks at the university. I had all my friends were like, Al, what's the next stock? And then it got to a point where I even had some professors ask me too, which is really, really cool. And then, it was pretty impressive. And it got to a point where I became such a activist investor that, I showed you that video, and I made that video before I came onto YouTube, before YouTube even turned on. I made that video, and it was of energy transfer. And interestingly, I actually spoke to the investor relations, and I was able to have a conversation with the CEO at the time of energy transfer. He's worth about $4 or $5 billion. Kelsey Warren, right? Very, very nice gentleman. Hardworking, started from nothing. So my journey to investing. So it's the thing, guys. I'm not gonna essentially come online here, and basically say, "Oh, I know what I'm talking about." That's what. So why I came online, I have to tell you guys, why I came online was really simple. I was, pandemic happened, right? So pandemic happened, and I'm on YouTube, because it turned out that CNN was okay and everything, but like YouTube was, they had the lives there for the news. I was like, oh, so I'll just go to YouTube, right? And there's no like commercials and none of that, right? Right. And ultimately, I was watching that, and then it got to a point where, I started to look at independent journalists, right? And I started doing independent journalists, and I was looking at these journalist guys, and I got to a point where I was like, wow, they were doing due diligence, and I was understanding about COVID, and you have to understand, my med school didn't understand my I see a question here. Wait. Biotech and technical analysis, can those even go together? Well, that's the thing. I mean, I don't recommend doing this, right? This is a very at the time I had access to a Bloomberg terminal, right? So I don't recommend that. Again, I've always had access to data, right? I mean, in the beginning I didn't, but I built that up. So I don't recommend that at all. I've already given in the channel in the Discord. I've already given my spiel on that, right? But there is a madness if you understand the science, right? But it's like what Peter Lynch was saying. But I was on YouTube, and all of a sudden, I started seeing, like, buy the stock right now, and it's going to go to the moon. So I was like, oh, this is cool. I mean, this is people make videos about stock market on YouTube. That's pretty cool. So I started clicking on the videos, and I was watching them, and I was like, I'm like this. I'm just like waiting to hear about intrinsic value. I'm waiting. I'm okay. Okay, free cash flow. So I'm like, I guess you could. I'm from the West Coast, but I have like an East Coast vibe. So like my girl was watching me, and I was just like yelling. I think I was on my iPad or something. I was like yelling at the freaking screen. I was like, what the hell are you talking about? Where's the free cash flow? What this? I was just yelling at the. I'm like, Michelle, are you seeing this bullshit? This is bullshit, right? And then I just got to a point where I was, Michelle was like, why don't you go on YouTube and just share your knowledge? I mean, you've helped a lot of people with stocks at the U of A and with her own family, right? So why don't you just kind of share that? And I was like, well, I'll do it after residency, right? I'll do it after. And she's like, seriously, it's not going to happen if you do it after residency. You're going to be too busy. Right. So then we made the videos, but then all of a sudden, people were like, Al, where can I get access to a Bloomberg terminal? And I was like, well, shit. I mean, do you go to school, university? You might be able to get. I mean, that's how I got access to it. But then they're like, no, I'm not in school. It's been 20, 30 years. I'm like, oh shit. Okay, well, is there another alternative? We found Morningstar, but then they canceled the data. Even if you pay for it, they don't show it anymore. So it's unfortunate, guys, right? So I had to build the software, and that was very hard. That was very painful. That was incredibly painful, guys. You have no idea how painful that was, and it still is painful, right? But yeah, so that's pretty much it there. Let me see here. Let's look at this comment. Lowering the price of prescription drugs, I think that's going to be a very good impact. I don't think it's going to be I think a lot of companies like Eli Lilly and maybe Pfizer, if they have drugs, I think they're going to get hit hard. But I think insurance companies ultimately, are going to make more money on that, I think, right? We'll see how it plays out, right? But yeah, so that's the video about energy transfer. That was all before I came on YouTube, and that was such a fun. And you saw my due diligence on the video, right? That shit was hard. I went deep. We were going into the SEC filings, and right, and that was what when did I make that video? I think I made that video 6 years ago, right? So it's been, guys, time goes by fast. I mean, it feels like yesterday I made that video. Yeah, I mean, it's just really crazy, man, how time goes. But anywho, we went ahead and we calculated the EPS, and then we got to a point where we got an average or a free cash flow or operating cash flow of anywhere between 92 to 156 mil, and the average is 124 mil. So we got a price target. And I put it in the video. It's definitely, I have to revise up my price target. I don't think it's gonna be more than 7. Just for right now, we'll keep it 7, and we'll just reinitiate it once it reaches that. But yeah, I definitely think the stock is gonna explode, right? And a lot of people are gonna make a lot of money. And ultimately, we did the due diligence, we did the hard work, and we put in a lot of effort in these videos, right? And the point of making these videos ultimately is to show you, yes, you can become wealthy in the stock market, but you have to understand the financial information. You have to understand accounting. You have to understand what an income statement is. You have to understand what a balance statement is. Balance sheet has a lot of information, right? Then my favorite is the cash flow, right? The balance sheet, they all work, man. They all help, right? I wouldn't pick. I mean, I don't have a favorite. Someone asked me if you have a favorite. I mean, I don't. They all work. I mean, you can't. It's like having. It's like what's your favorite hand, right? Maybe maybe some of you guys do have a favorite hand, right? Depending on what time of the hour it is, right? So you know, right? It all helps. It all helps. But I would say, yes, you can make money in the market. Yes, you can have the American dream. Yes, you can, get to a position where you're able to own a golf course. You're able to be with people that are like-minded. Yes, you can create generational wealth, but if you don't have the people that have done it, you're going to have to be the trailblazer in your family. Um, you just you have to have the education for it, which many people don't know what accounting is, which we have the platform and we teach it. And it's not just bullshit accounting so you can be a good little employee for your boss. No, this is like, I need to understand this $1 billion business or $1 trillion business. Most people don't know how many billions in a trillion. It's 1,000. Most people don't know how many millions in a billion, and it's 1,000 as well. So most people don't know that, right? And it's a shame, but it is what it is, right? Like how many thousands are in a million? 1,000, right? But most people don't, right? So you have to train yourself to think like that, but you have to understand what questions to ask. You just can't jump in the stock market, start reading these financial sheets. You can, but you're going to miss a lot of information. There's a systematic method and a madness to it, and it's the language of the business, and it's essentially how can you speak the language of the business, and that's all it is, guys. Right? Um, ultimately, is can you speak the language of the business, right? And it's you know, not a lot of people know this language, and that's your edge. Uh, um, that is your edge. Um, I'm just kind of, basically closing off and summarizing kind of everything we talked about regarding Clover. There's a lot. I mean, I'm skipping a lot of information from those videos. It just can't, you can't possibly go over all that. Just kind of briefly, kind of a night for people that have watched it, a nice summary, kind of where we're headed into. We're going to look at the SEC filings, and we're going to basically see what's going on. And yeah, um, my Michelle's here. Uh, hey man, can you open the door? It depends if you have the key. If you can't get it, I'll go. If you can't do it, I'll do it. Don't worry. Um, yeah. So we got 69 watching, 29 likes. Smash that like button. No, I appreciate you. Actually, what's crazy is we actually have 223 people watching, but they're not all from here. They're all on Twitter. Here it is on the screen. It's really cool. We got about 151. That's impressive, right? So, uh, it's really cool. But yeah, guys. So ultimately, that's kind of where we're at right now. We'll see what the market has in store for us tomorrow. We'll see kind of where that's at, and ultimately, what we're gonna do. And let's see. Let me did you do it. Oh, hmm. Okay, but yeah. So let me see here. Um, Trying to make sure if there's anything else I didn't talk about. That's about it, guys. Let me check quantum charts real quick. I'm curious to see if the institutional ownership graphs have been updated. Nope, we're still waiting. So let me show you. So we're still waiting for Q1 2025. And once that happens, we'll be able to see the data. But yeah, guys, you know, this data is expensive. It's not your typical run of the mill. And let me see here. It's not your typical run of the mill. And we have the SaaS sale, which will be ending soon. Take advantage of it. This is life-changing information. It's life-changing. And it's, this is the type of data that's changed my life. And ultimately that's kind of, it's at the end of the day, you look to your left, you look to your right, and oh, look at this. Look at this. Look who's at the golf course now. Hey, wait, come here, Scooby. Scooby, come here. Look, watch this, guys. Watch. Scooby, come here, pal. Get over here. Look at this guy. Come here, up. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh. Come back. Up. He's like, oh my God, we're back at the golf course. They're all running around. Scooby, come here. They're just literally running around at the golf course. It's hilarious. You guys should see this. This is insane. Come here. Come here. Up. Oh. How you doing, pal? How you doing? They're literally at the golf course. Right? Just running around. Scooby. Of course, Scooby goes to the damn kitchen. Scooby, get your ass back here. Block off the kitchen. Right? Listen, guys. I've gotten to a point where, I can retire tomorrow if I want, right? But, then what? Then what, right? So for me, what makes me happy is, medicine, being able to help people and being there. I don't know. I know some doctors that don't do medicine for the money, and that's incredible. They usually are really good doctors. But a lot of people are money driven, which is fine. It's not a problem at all. But, just because I have all this money, I have a lot of my friends are like, you have all this money and you're still doing medicine. I'm like, yeah. Is it like, it's kind of upsetting, it's clear that they did it for the money, but yeah. So, look around your life. If you don't have anyone to talk about the stock market with, if you don't have access to the data, imagine being able to step into a platform where you're able to talk about any company you want, hop on a video call with other members and say, hey, what's going on, man? What do you think about this stock? Let me send it to you. You have a Discord that has access, that's online 24/7. Like it's on, so, okay. Like right now it's 8:14 in Arizona time, 9, 10, 11 p.m. East Coast, they're sleeping, right? Us West Coast, we're still up. But then let's say, right now, people at the UK, it's 4:14 right now in the morning, right? So in about 3 hours from now, people in the UK are going to be up. So then now the UK wakes up and the UK starts doing research, right? Exactly here. The Discord never sleeps. It never sleeps. It's never asleep. And and some East Coast don't sleep. So think about it. I'm at 11 p.m., 12 p.m., Arizona, which is 3 a.m. East Coast, right? Yeah, for now, right? Because 3 hours, and then you get the 2 hours, but 3 hours, and then what is it? 3 hours from now, 3 to 4 hours from now, it's about to be 8 o'clock, and in the UK. Then you got people in Russia, Middle East. We got people all over Canada. You know, people start. We got people from Hawaii. Uncle B. Shout out to you, Uncle B. Right? He's not like he refers to himself as Uncle B. So don't worry. When I go to Hawaii, we're gonna set up a meeting, Uncle B, and we're gonna sit down. We're gonna go ahead and show you how to use lifetime access. Uncle B is around, he's definitely in his senior years, and that doesn't mean that he should not be aged out from making money, right? So when I travel to Hawaii, we're gonna go ahead and because I love to work, right? That's just I am obsessive. I'm obsessed in work. If I'm in a multi-million-dollar room and I have a beach view, I will set this damn computer up and I will look at the beach and I will work because that's just who I am. I will die like this. I love this, right? Right. So yeah, we'll reach out and we'll have a good time in Hawaii and we'll get you ported into the lifetime access. Listen, these are the type of people that join. He joined and he's like, Al, I support you. I kind of know how to use it, but I'm really missing out on a lot of things that you're talking about. I'm not really good at Zoom either because I tried to meet with him. He's like, I'm not really good in Zoom. So I was like, you know what, man? You know what? We'll go ahead. And when I go there, I will integrate you in person, right? And essentially, which is why ultimately lifetime access will become 10, 15, 20K. I mean, the amount of investing I am doing in these lifetime members is something that no professor will ever do, right? Because, if professors had the money that I had, they wouldn't be teaching, right? Maybe they will, but like they're not incentivized because college is shit, right? Because like it's like a freaking paper mill. It's like it's like a house, like a puppy mill. That's what it's just like new college students come in every single freaking year, and the professor doesn't have time for that, right? It's quantity and not quality, right? Oh, look at this. Look at this. Michelle, right? She made me homemade donuts. Baked. Homemade donuts. I appreciate you, girl. No, not right now. I'm about to pretty much finish off. And by the way, for people that don't know Michelle, this is Michelle. Right here. Where is she? There's my baby girl. She's like, that's a terrible picture. No, it's not. That's my baby girl. Right? And then oh yeah, here's where I was sitting, here, the beautiful sunset here. And there's Michelle, and look at her nice jade cross. Very beautiful. Very beautiful. Then we have I have access to all this freaking beer, right? To all my lifetime members. This is, again, when I tell you this is lifetime, I don't think you understand what this is. We are family. Okay. We are creating it's a very unique business model of what we're doing, right? Because everything that's invested gets reinvested back into the business. The amount of material that we have now, guys, and just the level of investment that we are putting into members, it's going to be generational wealth. And that's what I want my legacy to be. That is what I want my legacy to be. I want all of you guys all around the world to be wheeling the wheel strategy and to be shitting bricks, shitting some Al stock trade bricks, shitting the biggest cash bricks that you've ever shit in your goddamn life, right? That's what I want. I want you to have that, right? And it takes time. It takes time. And yeah, I think the dogs ran into the bathroom, honestly. No, they came back. Are you guys good? You guys see them in the shadow? Yeah. All of them are here. Like, no. The day team is going to look at the camera tomorrow, but go, those freaking 3 dogs in there? Like, what the hell is going on? There's some coyotes in the back, so we got to be careful, right? But ultimately, guys, this is a family. We're creating a family. This is not a, like sadly, a lot of YouTubers, they do this, buy this and it'll change your life. No, that's bullshit, right? That's bullshit, right? This is, I went from sleeping in the alleyway. I went from sleeping on the freaking floor with nothing, right? To now I travel first class everywhere, right? Right? I don't drink champagne when I'm thirsty yet, right? But I drink coffee, right? So, I drink a bunch of coffee. But I know how to take people from nothing to something because I've done that with myself. And regardless of whatever situation you are in, I believe I can take you to where you need to be. It's a lot of mentorship. It's not like for people that are in Lifetime, I'm in the chat group. I'm in there. I am involved, right? If someone messages me, you usually get a response within 24 to 48 hours. If not, within the hour. I mean, can people in the chat support that? Can you agree that I'm really responsive? Right? Because again, I'm trying again. So I guess this is kind of sad, but but it really is the truth. I grew up with no family, right? And I was like, well, fucking shit, right? I didn't grow up with a family. That's fine. I'll make my own family, right? There it is, B-Rob, right there, right? Right? All these people that are Lifetime, I'm there. I'm like, fuck it. I didn't grow up with a family. I don't give a fucking shit. I'm not going to be all depressed. I'm going to make my own family, right? And that's it. That's what we're doing. We have family everywhere now. We have family in Canada. We have family in the United States, right? To all my United States citizens that have supported our mission, thank you, right? To all the people in Europe and UK, God bless you all, right? To all the people in the Middle East, Russia, China. I don't know about you Russians. I don't know what stock market you're trading, but I think maybe you guys are figuring out a VPN way to trade the US stock market, but you guys are more than welcome. To my Hong Kongers out there, right? Shout out to Andrew Toy's team, his AI team, right? This is, again, guys, we're trying to build a community here. We're trying to, because again, this is okay. Yes. Clover will go to the moon. Okay. Then what? Right? You need a platform, because then what's going to end up happening is people are going to make a shit ton of money on Clover, and then I don't know what to do. They're going to take that money and they're going to put it in something else, and they're going to lose it all, right? Because they don't have access to the data. They don't have access to other people. Hey, what are you investing in? Why are you investing in these 10 companies? Oh, what are you? And here's the thing: I have access to hedge fund level data, and you have access to what hedge funds buy. So you'll see, oh, Bill Ackman's buying this, Warren Buffett's buying this. This guy's buying this, you're going this way here, this one here, right? Everybody's buying something, right? And you got to have a community. You can hop on the video channel any time of the night, any time of the day. That's what we're building. And it's just the vision is real. The vision is real. Okay. It is coming alive. Okay. Just wait. If you guys only knew what I had in store, you guys have no idea. Right? Unless you got one hell of an AI auto response. AI. Yeah, the AI one. And let me see here. Hey, thanks. Kevin Vaught said, thanks for supporting Al and all the time he's devoted to us. This is the comment right here. Want to say hi? Want to see? Hello.
No.
Hi.
Hi.
Well, you got to come here.
I'm not camera shy.
It's okay. Say hi. No?
No, okay.
No? She's camera shy. She's more private, guys. She's more private, right? Right? She's like, you know how it is, right? But that's pretty much it, guys. I mean, this is, it's simple as that. You just got to understand the balance sheet income. I mean, it's really simple. It's just the educational system sucks. Once you understand this language, and we're going to be masters, guys. We're just, there's going to be things that we're going to do is going to be insane. And I don't want to do this. And I've been a very negative proponent of this, because it's just we're too young. I don't like, because not even Bill Ackman shorts anymore. But if we get to a point where if we see a company that's like dog shit and we know they're going to do a reverse stock split or something, who knows? We may do some shorting, right? But that's like maybe not me, maybe somebody else, but I don't like the short because it's dangerous. But the thing is, the data that you have, and if you can calculate intrinsic value of a stock, then you know how much it's worth. So obviously, if it's trading at like $500, but it's worth $5 or under $5, and it's like, well, this shit's about to go down, right? And ultimately, sometimes that happens. Sometimes stocks shoot up all the way, and then you're like, what the hell is this? It's going to fall back down, and then you can short it to hell, and you can make a lot of money. I mean, I've done it before, but I don't advertise it, right? It's not good, right? My guy says, my guy says Clove will fly this week. Whose guy? Me or some other guy? No, I think it will. I don't know about this week, but I definitely believe that as we approach Q2 of May 2020, I do think we're going to subsequently start increasing because we are, I think, going to be at least above $20 million in profitability. We'll see, right? Let's see here. Caught the tail end of this one. Yeah, here, B-Rob here. Caught the tail end of this one, but thanks for being relatable. I always feel welcome and part of something when you watch your lives or engage in Discord. You're doing something great. No, yeah, and that's the thing. We're trying to create family here. We're trying to create family. We're trying to create a community, and soon we will meet. We will meet in a very beautiful place. We'll have beautiful memories. Because guys, at the end of all this, yeah, we make all this money and everything. The biggest thing is we have to enjoy what we have, right? We enjoy our life, but ultimately, we are going to die, right? I mean, that's just life, right? The ending is the same. So in order to basically, really create long lasting change, lifetime access is passed down to your offspring, right? It's passed down to your children. And hopefully that puts pressure on the dads and the moms that buy our platform, because then, it shows that, you have an obligation to teach your children this, because your country, sadly, our country, United States, does not teach you this, because they would rather have you an employee, right? They would have you rather working at this golf course rather than owning this golf course, right? And I want you to be able to own your own golf courses. I want you to be your own boss. And B-Rob messaged me a couple weeks ago. He said, Al, I opened up, and his son, B-Rob's son, that guy has a crazy monitor and crazy screen. I mean, that thing is literally like a rainbow. It's one of those master computer programming gaming computers, and definitely stronger than what I have, I think, on the graphics side. But B-Rob was telling me, hey, Al, I went ahead and I was talking to my son, and I shared with him your premium stock terminal, and we had a bonding moment. Thanks. That to me means everything. It's those types of things that make this life very beautiful. Me being part of a very small little thing in space and time. Just having to be able, someone like myself who came as a zygote and as a fetus, nothing in this world, to have some positive influence in someone else's life, that's a big deal. Same thing here with the golf course. We have kids come here on Easter or Mother's Day. They're making memories, right? Right. And I was sitting here, and we had a couple that they had they had two beautiful kids. One had a button down like what I have. It's kind of cute. And the wife and the two kids, they had a Mother's Day brunch, right? They went to go get food, and the servers were overwhelmed, and we had about 4, 5, 6 plates stacking. And what the hell did I do, right? We went ahead, and I'm like, sir, you mind if I take your plates? Let me take your plates. At the end of the day, we are above nobody. I think what turns me off the most is when I see someone, act like there's something else, right? They're like, oh, I don't do that, right? And usually those, maybe you call them new money, maybe potentially, or I would say probably fake money, right? Because usually when people get a lot of money, they realize, okay, so to get in the habit of making money, you have to do a couple of things in order to get that, right? And usually it's not what fake money does. Real money does not care about what other people think of them. I don't care what other people think of me, right? I have my own moral compass. I have that's a very strong moral compass, right? Because at the end of the day, I have to answer to someone. Like I said, when I pointed the camera to God, I will have one day to answer to God. And when I look at God in the future, I will say, hey, you think you could have done a better job than me? All right, you really think you can beat what I did, all the good? It's almost like I have a competition, right? I'm crazy, right? It's like, how much good can I do in the world given the limitations of where I came from? And I came from homelessness. I came from nothing. And look what I was able to do, right? So I guess the biggest thing, if you want to take away anything, it kind of goes back to what Kevin's saying here. We are meant to serve him in many ways. If you want to get at where I'm at now, like, screw the lifetime access. That's really important. But I mean, really, the first step you should take, in my opinion, is I think, you got to put God first. That's the first thing that I did before any of this Bloomberg terminal data and all this other crap. I put God first. And once I did that, and it's crazy. It's not like I put God first and God came down and said, oh, I'm here. No, he's always been here. He's here right now. He's there in your life. Even though you're not there for him, he's always there for you. He's always there. He's always been there. You just have to reach out to him, right? That's it. That's the one thing he promised you. He's always going to be there. So that you got to put God first. Let's see here. I grew up near a golf course, played football, and had bottle rocket battles on it. I'm sure the country club loved us. No, I mean, I'm seeing the kids here, guys. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful memory. It is so beautiful, right? So here, my son signed up for the Navy, Al. He's going to invest his sign-up bonus on the stock market. He's slowly going through your course in his free time. Man, I hope he becomes a Navy SEAL. That'll be really badass, if he becomes a Navy SEAL. Oh, yeah. For people that don't know, Navy SEALs are badass, right? Navy SEALs can take out 10 people with a blink of an eye, right? Man, God bless him for serving the country. And I can't wait to watch you mentor him, right? And then I can't wait to be able to teach him what I know. And that's the community that we're building, guys. That's the community that we're building. God is good, right? All right, amen. And good night from Southeast USA, baby. Love you a lot. God bless you all. And let's see here. It's all about finding people who are willing to help themselves. It's been a tough road finding those people. It really has. But guess what? On the path of struggle, we found each other. Look at that. We're here, right? God bless you guys. I love all of you. And we're going to go to the moon. We're going to make a shit ton of money. That's it. We're going to make all this money. And we have our values intact, right? It's not like we're making money in a shitty way. We're making money in a good way, right? In my opinion, we're making money in a good way, right? It's not like we're ripping somebody off here. We're helping people, right? So God bless you all. And I'll see you on the next one.